All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I needed to get out just a quick update. It's important. Time is of the essence on this, so needed to get it out real quick. So hopefully this will be like a 5 to 7 minute video, so easily palatable. In regard to SwapX, so the SwapX influencers, or whatever you want to call them, content creators that were given 30 whitelist spots, from what I'm hearing, they're pretty much all filled up. Mine are all filled up. I know Lee's are, and several other people. Sounds like they're pretty much all filled up. So if you can't find a content creator that has available spots, there still is a chance for you to get into SwapX. So if you're just watching this video for the first time, Eric, what the heck is SwapX and why would I want to get in? SwapX is a decentralized exchange that's being created for X1. Here's the documentation over here. You can go read through it, or you can go look at my previous video. But think about it like PancakeSwap, Uniswap, any of these decentralized exchanges for a network. So PancakeSwap is obviously for the Binance Smart Chain. SwapX is going to be a decentralized exchange for X1. OKX is the centralized exchange, the biggest one out there. They've got something like 50 million active users, so tons of traffic over there. But if they want to come off and farm or take advantage of liquidity pools or staking or different things like that, they need to come over to a decentralized exchange, which SwapX is going to handle. So how SwapX makes money, or how decentralized exchanges make money in general, is every transaction that happens on there, every time someone stakes or unstakes or swaps a token from USDT over to USDC, or for whatever reason the individual is swapping one token for another, there is a little transaction fee that gets shaved off, and the decentralized exchange gets to keep that money. Pretty simple concept. Anytime a transaction happens, they get money. If I'm exchanging some of these dollars for a different type of currency, they're going to shave a little bit and give me the other currency. It's a really popular model in the real world as far as like currency exchanges, and it's also really big in DeFi. So that's cool. Why do you care? The reason you care is you might have an opportunity to own a little piece of this new decentralized exchange that Ricky and BB have created. I personally want to own as much as possible, so I've maxed out my wallet with 10 of these NFTs. They will be selling at pre-sale for 0.16 ETH. That's ETH on the Binance Smart Chain. So you'll need to convert it over. We'll do another video on that later because this one's going to be short. So like I said, there is only 3,000 of these spots available, and a handful of influencers, like 20 influencers or content creators, were able to have guaranteed whitelist spots for folks. So people in their community. So I made a video, posted it, and got a ton of DMs, and everyone has gotten in. Now, if you're just seeing this because you just took a few days to spend time offline and you're not doing crypto and you're going, oh man, this would have been a killer opportunity for me, it doesn't mean you're completely out. There is still a last opportunity for you. You're going to want to click this link. I'll put it in the description below, but it's just the doc that's going to allow you to apply for a whitelist spot. The details of how this works is in a previous video, and I'll just touch on this real quick because I've got some math for you to show you how powerful it is. But what you'd want to do, come to this form, say, okay, this is the wallet address I want it associated with. How many do I want? Not financial advice, but I recommend getting as many as are available to you. I do think that even the people that are on my list, that are on my white list that committed to one, I think a lot of those people are going to try to push themselves to be able to get 2, and the people who put 3 or 4 are going to try to get 5 or 6. So I do think once people see the math and see how bullish it is, they are going to try to level up and maybe get 1 or 2 more from what they applied for. So just keep that in mind. So if you want to get in on this, and I think it's a good opportunity, again, not financial advice. I just personally think this one's going to crank, and I don't think this thing's ever going to get out of pre-sale. I don't think it's ever going to get to public sale. I think there's too many people in the community who trust BB, see how powerful the OKX centralized exchange is and how many users they're using. And now that they're launching this X1 blockchain, we'd be the first and premier decentralized exchange for that blockchain. Pretty major. Which means a lot of people are going to have to go there to do transactions, which means a lot of fees, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. So if you want to get in, come down here, you will paste your wallet address that you want them to be associated with, pick the amount of NFTs that you really want to purchase and you can actually cover, put your username on Telegram or Twitter if that's what you need to do, and then in this drop down, if you guys wouldn't mind, put STI so you can join my team. Once you submit that, it's going to give you the opportunity to maybe pick some of these up, which I think could be a big windfall for a lot of us, and a big win in actual DeFi. Once that happens, it's just a waiting game. Probably got a couple weeks until we get a little countdown timer to go in and actually purchase these. So even if you're like, man, I got enough for 1 right now, but I'll have enough for another one in a week, you can put 2, because we're not actually needing to pay for these quite yet. So at some point there will be a countdown timer. They'll let us know what our window is, and once it goes live, everyone needs to go in and actually purchase those and exchange the money. If there's any left over, it will go to public sale, but I don't think so. I think a bunch of people are going to jump in here and say, here's what I want. They're going to get themselves approved on the whitelist, and they're going to go in and purchase right away. So make sure you do this soon. I think it's a first come, first serve basis. So if you've actually come in, put your wallet address in, and then you save up your money and get ready for when in a couple weeks this thing drops, I think you'll be in pretty good shape. So all well and good. It's fantastic. If you guys have made it this far, you're probably pretty interested. You might have watched my previous video and understand how it works. But here's the basic deal. People go to SwapX and they're exchanging currencies, and they're staking and using pools and all that type of stuff. Those are generating transaction fees. Those transaction fees are then shared with the owners. If you own an NFT, you're a part owner. Once it launched in months 1 through 3, the 3,000 NFT holders, the partial owners, will be receiving 20% of the fees. So 20% of the profit that the DEX makes will be shared with the team. Months 4 through 6, it drops to 15, and 7 to infinity is 10%. And the reason it drops is just increased user adoption. Might be a low amount of transactions in the early stages, then it ramps up, and then by the time it's 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 months, we could be seeing serious volumes. So you sit back and collect those fees. That money will probably come in the form of like SwapX tokens and stuff like that that'll go to your wallet. You can choose to stake them and compound your money and double up your revenue. You can sell some. You get to decide what you want to do. But what kind of money are we talking about? This is some really rough math I put together, so don't hate on my simple spreadsheet, but the concept is relatively simple. The row across the top, each of these 3 rows represents the amount of money that would be collected in fees. So 2 million, 4 million, 6 million, it goes up by 2 million, as you can see. The first section here would be month 1 through 3. As you can see, 20%, then it drops to 15%, and then 10%. That number of the total fees is divided by 3,000 because there's 3,000 total NFTs that are going to be sold. And then this bottom row represents if you purchase 10 of them. So right now there's some real small, fairly trash DEXs out there, and those guys are collecting, 2 to 4 million, something like that, in fees per month. So nothing crazy. I want to say PancakeSwap right now is like closer to 50 million. So this will give you the range. There's also some that are even bigger that are collecting a ton right now, 150 million. But let's just keep it simple for now. I don't want to overshoot it. If in months 1 through 3, we're only doing $2 million in fees, each NFT would give you $133 a piece. If you had 10 of them, it would be $13.33. That would be your approximate monthly payout. Let's say in months 4 through 6, it's 4 million. That'd be 200 a piece, $2,000 a month. And 7 and beyond, it's 8 to 10 million. You'd be in this $300 range per and $3,000 a month if you own 10 of them. Now this is into perpetuity. So if this thing goes crazy in a bull market and be OKX's major DEX that everyone is using, it could, and we could see $150, $200 million of fees. I really don't know. I prefer to just keep this conservative and try to figure out, okay, is this a good investment? Am I going to get my money back? It's nice that this thing will pay into perpetuity, because any long-term investment like real estate, anything like that, sometimes it's a lot of capital up front and takes a long time to get those funds back. So with this one, if I could collect $1,000 a month here, 2,000 here in that second stage, I've already broke even on all my NFTs in the first 6 months, and then from then on, I'm just collecting pure profits. So if things go better, obviously that's pretty low. I think the stage and the curve is going to go a little bit more like this. I think we're going to be starting out closer to 2 million. Once we get a little bit of a ramp, we'll get into that 6 to 8 million range, and then 14 to 16, something like that. I think we're going to see a little bit better curve. And then from then on, we could see crazy volume if things go really well. So this should be cool. Obviously, this is hypothetical. These are real numbers, so if we hit those fees, that's what you'd be making. But we've only got a shot at making that, obviously, if you own an NFT and get in on it. There's only 3,000, so this is like a short-term play, or not a short-term play, I should say. It's you got a short window to be able to get involved, because only a handful of us are going to be able to get these. Yeah, I think there's 3,000. If everybody bought 10, that's only 300 people that can actually get into this. So pretty exclusive, could be major. It's not a crazy amount of money. I've already stated that I'm all in on this. If you want to get in and you just missed it and you couldn't get on the whitelist, not a big deal. If you are on the whitelist, consider buying more. Consider buying 1 or 2 more if you can. If you could put it together, you don't have to, of course. And if you're not on the whitelist yet, make sure you come over and you do that checklist so you can get in it and have a shot at getting a couple of these NFTs. So that's it. I'll do a much bigger deep dive on this as time goes on. I just needed to get this out because my list is full. I'm still getting DMs for people to get added, and I'm telling them one by one to go to this forum. Figured it'd be better to do in a video. So thank you guys. Super cool opportunity here, I believe. If you think it's cool too, jump in. Happy investing.